Hi, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I'm just continuing in my second installment for today. This is the read for the collective divine feminine, divine masculines. I was just talking about the idea of the meek inheriting the earth. Today is Monday, by the way, which Monday is fair of face, bringing up the meek inheriting the earth. Because what we project on the outside is the illusion. It's the opposite of our shadow, which is the etheric, which is the true. So think about that. What do you still need to clear to become your true self? So since the way we project is the opposite of truth, the closer to 0 point we are is the closest to truth we can be in human form. And that's why we need to stay present at 0 point, okay? Because one extreme is the 3D, which is the way we project, and the other extreme is our subconscious that we don't even see in ourselves. So we don't want to go to either one of those extremes. We want to stay present. So that means 0 point is the most truth we can be in this realm. So let me know what you think about that. Personal growth came up. This is for both the divine feminine, divine masculine. Today, restitution is all about personal growth. So recently, we have the Knight of Wands energy. Okay, that's Wands is all about passion, which is inspiration and ego. So we see the Knight of Wands, which is traveling. It's a lot of movement, passionate movement, moving quickly, traveling, after not having come together at work. Okay, and sometimes all this stuff happens, you know, when you're upset about something, it seems to be in slow motion. And that's us purposely being put through slow motion. It's kind of like the wheel in reverse so that we can see everything more clearly. It happens in slow motion so we can see every little bit and what we need to integrate. Okay? And to be clear on your mission, okay? Because you'll get downloads of what to spread to the world, and then you'll come away from your knowing and get insecure about what you've been given, because other people might come against that message that you have, which is okay. It's all about triggering all the wounds out of each other, okay? So, and then ask yourself, if someone has triggered you and you're upset with them, would you come together in the name of compassion? If you were offered another life to be saved, if you just allow a little bit more compassion for those who you feel have come against you, but are actually loving people, and who actually you don't really know very well, but you got triggered by something they did or something you felt they did. Would you have more compassion if you knew getting past those blocks would allow another to be saved? And do you really need that threat to be more compassionate, or can you just be more compassionate all on your own? And this is all about staying at 0 point. You know, none of us are perfect. It's not difficult to do, but we're being called to do our best to get along with everyone, not just the ones that are easy to get along with, but the ones we have illusions about, false realities, things we thought others did to us, but maybe they didn't, because you're not giving them a chance to see their perspective. So just allow. Obviously, we're not going to be in touch with everyone all the time. It's impossible. But if there are blocks or feelings of anger or mistrust with anyone, you can't be at peace until you work some of that out. Okay? So if it's bothering you, that means you need to work on that. And whether it's one-to-one or with bringing multiple people together, it doesn't matter. It's just about compassion, okay? And compassion for yourself. Even when you're unable to do this because your pride's coming up, and we all have this issue, myself included, to try to get past those pride issues, because that's the ego we're trying to let go of. That's why we need to stay present, not to think forward, not to think back, but stay present. But stand in your ground without resisting. This is the trick. Don't be defensive. Just stand in your knowing. Don't resist, allow, just love. No defense, just compassion. Then I got centrally the ties that bind, the cord that flows between us, the light and the shadow. That the shadow is more important, it's more authentic. The light is separation and depression, the 3D. The shadow is the purge, the release. We need to work on both light and dark patterns. We have patterns that we need to break on the light and the dark side. The light being the 3D and the dark being the subconscious, the etheric. So it's all about whether we go to the light or the dark side. It's all about coming back to 0 point quickly to maintain peace, love, and joy. We protect ourselves not through illusionary protection, which is our traditional thoughts of what protects us, our stability, our money, our family, all of those 3D things we think of as our protection, when really our protection is our etheric protection. Our heart is balance and releasing and staying present in our own knowing without fear. That's our protection. Challenged by, of course, working and staying present in our own knowing without fear. Challenged by working on our specific talents that collectively come together as one. None of us have all of the pieces. We all have our specialties, and this is why none of us have the same talents or abilities, so that we will all come together as one, okay, and appreciate each other's talents instead of competing with each other. And just a reminder, too, that came up during this, to take care of your animals as well if they need healing. When I was getting stress earlier, I realized that it was my daughter's dog, because everyone had just left the house, and you know how stressed your dogs get when you leave them. So remember to help them release that as well. They're there helping you protect you, you know, giving you love, unconditional love. Your pets are showing you how to be. So us working on our specialty completes the circle of the true connection and coming together, even if you're not attracted with that other person. It's just because you don't know that other person. If you truly knew everyone and everything they've been through, you would understand and have more compassion for them. Like your twin, they have the pieces you are missing. And so you're being shown as an example when you're not in your union, to allow your twin to be your complement, not your equal. And so you're being shown this with your friends and your family and the people around you and the people you work with. Not to expect them to be like you, to allow them to be your perfect complement. So now, in the head and heart of the collective, news will be coming in, messages will be coming in to talk it out and heal, to do the dance. That's the infinity. Going back and forth and coming back to, always coming back to 0 point. But you have to do the dance because energy continues to move. It's not stagnant. It has to keep flowing. So it's always going to come out from 0 point one way or the other. But it's about how able are you to bring it always back to 0 point and do that dance. So you have to practice that with your twin flame friends and your family and the people you work with in order to come into union and be able to do that with your twin who's closest to you. So sudden events are going to act as a precursor to the hermit shedding light on talking to each other to heal. And if you need to, one by one, one step at a time. And then I got that show. Is it 12? That 12 are in the family? I couldn't remember. But I was getting one step at a time as well. And that show, I just couldn't think of it, that has a whole bunch of kids. I think it was 12 altogether. And then I was guided to, I actually looked up one, just one. And the choices that I was given when I put one in, sorry, I keep knocking this, I can't see. I got one of 12, so that's what I put in. And what I got were some Bible verses that you might want to check out. The first I saw was John 12:4. And then I got, was it 12? Yeah. Also Matthew, and these were all, a lot of them were 14s, like the day's date. So, and that's the temperance energy. So I got Matthew 10:4, Matthew 26:14, and then Luke 6:12 through 16, which also includes 6:14. So the first one, John said, but one of his disciples, Judas, and then Iscariot, literally I got as is the chariot. So Judas is coming up as the chariot. Okay? Chariot is of war. It's charging in boldly for war, basically, conflict. So that John 12:4 is but one of his disciples, Judas, who betrays Jesus. And then Matthew 10:4 was Judas saying, so, and when Mary's putting perfume, she has perfume to put on Jesus' feet and then rubs her hair in the perfume on his feet. Judas says, why wasn't that perfume sold for charity? So this is going to bring up something for someone as far as religious templates. That it's not about sacrifice. It's about allowing everyone to be in joy. Matthew 26:14 then says, then one of 12, Judas, went to the chief priests. What will you give me if I hand him over to you? And that's when he was given the 30 pieces of silver. And silver is representative, by the way, of the divine feminine. So he was given 30 pieces of the divine feminine. And also, if you see everything in the 3D as opposites, if you see a masculine in the 3D, the reality is probably the divine feminine energy. Then we have Luke 6:12 through 16, which says, one of those days Jesus went out to the mountainside to pray and spent the night praying to God. When morning came, he called his disciples to him and chose 12, who he designated his apostles. And so you can go ahead and read this, and it lists the names of the apostles. So the high priestess, or the twins, the twin feminines specifically right now, with the 2 keys, or their etheric cord, it's really the affinity between you and your twin. Romance is that truth. That's the dance between you and your twin. You do that with everyone. Soon the Knight of Cups, who's the King of who is the King of Pentacles, announcing his truth. All right, this is a very earthy or wealthy man. He confesses his taking other people down, but doing it in his truth. We got the cards, it's safe to love, give relationship a chance, finances and career, and unrequited love. So you're being seen yourself as union. You're already in union, working on equal give and take for a new life, complete contentment. And around you will be strength, or how other people see you. Breaking chains of codependency by expressing feelings about the past, bringing them up to release. Clear energy before expressing. New beginnings, change, intuition, and completion. You as the twin being on the outside looking in to expose others' truth. Not to be cruel, but to be kind. This is how we trigger each other. Justice is the outcome card in this read, and is no longer conflict with truth. Drains of the karmic, divine feminine, to allow the Knight of Wands to move. So there's some release from the karmics. The Queen of Pentacles stands up for self and stands in her truth by being the 5 of Swords, not in a cruel way, but in order to release and purge. We're doing each other a favor. Inspired to do the dance. We're going home today. Specializing in offering love, expressing messages of truth and justice, even if you have to use tough love. Okay? So this is pretty much it. I'm not going to go into another installment because it's too much. But rise and be loved, guys, and stay in your knowing. Have a great week.